The SSD you choose for your build is kind of up to personal preference. There are some really high speed options and there are some normal speed options, but to the average user, and probably you, there's not a huge noticeable difference between the different SSDs in terms of performance. But before we talk about our options, I want to point out that this video is part of a larger series on how to build a computer. So I would recommend watching the other videos in conjunction with this one so you don't miss anything. And I'll link those videos in the cards and in the description. Now, there are two primary types of SSD, SATA and M.2. Both are really fast, really good, so it's really up to you which one you want. Just don't pick a mechanical hard drive. Those things are really slow and they suck. Now, the upsides to getting an M.2 drive is that you don't need any cables. It just mounts onto the motherboard. It's smaller and it can be faster because of NVMe technology that it uses. But SATA SSDs are also fast and they're cheaper. So because I hate cables for the PC build that we're doing here, we're going to be using an M.2 drive, but it's really up to you and you should let your needs and your budget dictate what you get. One last note, the more space your drive has, the more it will cost. And with that in mind, let's hop over to the computer and we'll pick out an SSD for this system.
All right, let's go ahead and pick out our storage. Now, I do know that we want to do M.2 for our storage device, right? Instead of a SATA SSD, we want to do an M.2 SSD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the motherboard page for our system, and I'm going to scroll down and click specs. And then under specs, if you look at storage devices, it'll tell you which M.2s are compatible with your computer. And it looks like we have a couple of sockets, and for our Matisse CPU, which is the Ryzen 5 5000 series, it looks like it'll be compatible with M.2 keys 2260, 2280, and then 22110. And so we're gonna come back over here to the Newegg homepage. Newegg is where I get all of my components. I'm gonna click on components, and then I'm going to go hard drives, SSDs. I'm gonna go SSDs, internal SSDs. And then over here on the left, I'm gonna select M.2 2260, M.2 2280, M.2 22110. And it looks like the vast majority of them are that 2280. That's really, really common. And then I'm going to make sure that the condition is new. And then as far as the size goes, let's do something between 480 and gigabytes and then a terabyte. So something like that. Now, this 970 EVO is a really, really popular one. It's less than $100 for 500 gigabytes. So that one looks like a pretty good option. It also goes with our theme of, you know, it looks like we're gonna do everything this silver and black color. I made a big deal about that when I bought this motherboard, which you can see in the other series. This Western Digital one is black though, and so that will go along with it, and it's $30 less or $25 less. And so let's see, that's not a bad deal. It does have this NAND, 3D NAND. That's also something that'll make it faster. So what happens if we add a heatsink to it? Ooh, I do like that heatsink. So sometimes these can heat up and get pretty hot. So for an extra $20, we get a heatsink. I don't know if that $20 is worth it. Looks like that without the heatsink. That's probably fine. I don't know if the heatsink is gonna be a big deal or not. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with this $70 Western Digital. So gonna add that to cart, and there we go. There is our storage device.
All right, so there you have it. Everything you need to know about buying an SSD, or at least everything I think you need to know about buying an SSD. If you have some further insights or information that would be helpful, leave them in the comments below and help your fellow PC builders out. Hopefully this video was helpful and useful, and if it was, I would love a thumbs up and a sub from you, but it's up to you. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.